Did you know that INFJ is the rarest personality type, making up less than 1.5% of the population? That's right, folks. The INFJ, an acronym for Introversion, Intuition, Feeling, and Judging, is the most unique of the 16 personality types defined by the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, MBTI. It's like finding a four-leaf clover in a vast meadow or spotting a shooting star in the night sky. It's that rare. This personality type is characterized by its introverted nature. This doesn't necessarily mean that INFJs are antisocial or shy, but rather they are inward-focused, deriving energy from solitude and deep, meaningful relationships rather than large social gatherings. Next in line is intuition, represented by the N in INFJ. This trait means that INFJs are future-oriented, always looking ahead and relying more on patterns and impressions than concrete details. They're the ones who can often predict outcomes before they happen, like modern-day oracles. The F stands for feeling. INFJs make decisions based on their feelings and values rather than cold, hard logic. They are empathetic and compassionate, often putting the needs of others before their own. Finally, the J stands for judging. Now, this doesn't mean that INFJs are judgmental. Instead, it indicates that they prefer structure and order and like to plan and organize their lives rather than leaving things up to chance. So, what makes INFJs stand out in the crowd? Apart from the rarity of this personality type, it's their unique combination of traits that sets them apart. INFJs are often described as complex and insightful, capable of understanding and interpreting the world around them in a way that few others can. They are passionate about their beliefs and values and strive to make a positive impact on the world. In essence, being an INFJ is akin to being a unicorn in a field of horses. It's about being different, standing out from the crowd, and embracing the unique set of traits that make you, you. It's about being rare, and that's what makes it so special. Being an INFJ is like being a unicorn in a field of horses. The INFJ personality type is often described as a paradox. It's a sentiment that rings true for those who identify as INFJs and for those who have had the pleasure or perhaps the bewilderment of knowing one. This paradoxical nature stems from the unique blend of traits that INFJs possess, which can seem at odds with each other. One of the primary contradictions inherent in the INFJ personality type is their introverted nature paired with their profound empathy. On one hand, INFJs are introverts, preferring solitude and the quiet hum of their own thoughts over crowded social gatherings. Yet despite this preference for solitude, they possess a deep-seated empathy for others. This empathy is not selective. It extends to friends, family, and even strangers. This pairing of introversion and empathy can be confusing to others. How can someone who seeks solitude also crave connection on such a deep emotional level? Then there's the INFJ's intuitive nature contrasted with their decisiveness. INFJs are known for their intuition, their ability to perceive and understand things not immediately apparent to others. This intuition often guides them in their decision-making process, leading them to trust their gut feelings over concrete evidence. However, once they've made a decision, they stick with it, demonstrating a level of decisiveness not typically associated with intuitive types. This seeming contradiction can cause some to view INFJs as unpredictable or inconsistent, but in reality, it's simply a reflection of their complexity. They are introverted yet empathetic, intuitive yet decisive. They are a tapestry woven with threads of seemingly contradictory traits that, when combined, create a personality type that is as fascinating as it is rare. INFJs are not a walking contradiction, as some might believe. Instead, they are a dynamic blend of traits that allows them to navigate the world in their unique way. They are a testament to the fact that our personalities are not one-dimensional, but rather a rich, multi-layered tapestry of traits, experiences, and perceptions. The INFJ personality, with its blend of traits, is truly a study in contrasts. How does an INFJ stack up against other personality types, you might ask? Let's dive in and compare the INFJ personality type with others, focusing on their distinctive nuances in communication styles, decision-making processes, and lifestyle preferences. First off, communication. INFJs are known for their empathic listening skills. Unlike the extroverted ENFJ, who is more expressive and outgoing in their communication, the INFJ prefers to sit back, observe, and truly listen. They have a knack for understanding others' perspectives, a trait less pronounced in some other types like the logical and straightforward ISTJs. Moving on to decision-making, INFJs are intuitive and feel their way through life. They're not like the ISTPs or ESTPs who are more spontaneous and live in the moment. INFJs plan and predict, often relying on their gut feelings to guide them. This is in stark contrast to the thinking-oriented types like ENTJs or INTJs who base their decisions more on logic and objective analysis. Then we have lifestyle preferences. INFJs are introverted, which means they value their alone time and prefer a quiet, peaceful environment. This is quite different from extroverted types like the ESFPs and ENFPs, who thrive in social situations and draw energy from being around others. And unlike the perceiving types such as ENTPs or INTPs, who enjoy flexibility and spontaneity, INFJs, as judging types, prefer structure and order in their lives. Lastly, INFJs are feelers. They're deeply empathetic and sensitive, often prioritizing harmony and the feelings of others. This sets them apart from thinking types like the ESTJs or ISTJs, who make decisions based on objective facts and logic, sometimes appearing less in tune with others' emotional states. So you see, INFJs are quite unique in their own right. They are thoughtful listeners, intuitive decision makers, and empathetic feelers, preferring a peaceful, structured lifestyle. While every personality type has its strengths and weaknesses, the INFJ's unique blend of traits makes them stand out. Like all personality types, INFJs have their strengths and weaknesses. Let's start with their strengths. INFJs are often touted for their deep empathy. They have an uncanny ability to understand and relate to the emotions of others. This makes them excellent listeners and compassionate friends. They're the ones who always seem to know when something's off, even before you've said a word. Their intuition is another strength that sets them apart. INFJs have a knack for seeing the big picture, for connecting the dots in ways that others might not. They're visionaries, constantly looking ahead, and their insights often prove to be remarkably accurate. But these strengths, like any, can sometimes double as weaknesses. Their deep empathy, for instance, can lead them to take on the emotional burdens of others, even when it's not healthy or beneficial for them to do so. They might find themselves feeling drained or overwhelmed, struggling to separate their own emotions from those of the people around them. Similarly, their intuition, while a powerful tool, can lead to overthinking. INFJs are prone to getting lost in their own heads, to ruminating on what might happen or what could have been. This can lead to anxiety and indecision, and at times prevent them from taking action. Moreover, INFJs have a tendency to strive for perfection, which can set them up for disappointment. They hold themselves to high standards, and when they fall short, they can be overly critical of themselves. This self-criticism, while it can motivate them to improve, can also lead to feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. But remember, every strength has a flip side, and every weakness is an opportunity for growth. It's about balance. It's about understanding these traits and learning how to harness them effectively. And lastly, it's important to note that being an INFJ doesn't mean you're destined to struggle with these weaknesses. It just means you're more likely to encounter them. And with awareness comes the power to overcome. Understanding these strengths and weaknesses can help INFJs navigate their personal and professional lives more effectively. So, are you one of the rare INFJs? Let's delve into some signs that might indicate you belong to this unique category. The first sign is a profound sense of empathy. If you find yourself deeply connected to the emotions of others, often to a point where you feel what they're feeling, you might be an INFJ. This type is known for their empathic abilities, a natural inclination to understand and share the feelings of others. Secondly, do you cherish solitude? INFJs often prefer their own company, using this time to reflect, introspect, and recharge. They're not antisocial. Instead, they simply appreciate the tranquility and space for self-discovery that solitude offers. Thirdly, INFJs tend to think in abstract, symbolic terms. They have a knack for seeing the bigger picture, for recognizing patterns and connections that others might miss. If you often find yourself lost in thought, contemplating the deeper meanings of life, there's a good chance you're an INFJ. Another sign is a relentless pursuit of authenticity. INFJs crave genuine connections and interactions. They have a distaste for superficiality and can easily spot when someone is not being true to themselves or others. Fifthly, INFJs often have a strong sense of idealism. They have a vision of how the world could be and strive to make it a reality. This idealism drives them to seek meaningful careers and relationships that align with their values. Lastly, if you're always looking for ways to improve yourself and the world around you, you might be an INFJ. This type is constantly evolving, learning, and growing, driven by a deep-seated desire to make a positive impact. If these signs resonate with you, you might just be part of this exclusive club. Feel free to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below.